Windsor is a vibrant, dynamic community with a wide array of intriguing businesses and interesting people. See what new businesses are coming to town. Hear about restaurants you haven't been to before. Learn the latest tips and tricks of technology. Find out what's happening around town. Get it all here on Windsor Today.
Hi, I'm Jane Garibay, Executive Director of the Windsor Chamber of Commerce.
And I'm Marty McMahon, President of the Chamber of Commerce. Welcome to Windsor Today. We've got a few announcements this episode. On January 16th, there'll be a parenting forum, and that'll be put on by Steve Porcaro, who's an executive and life coach for One for All Coaching. And there's information on our website about that event. On January 10th, there will be a coffee chat with the Superintendent of Schools, Dr. Elizabeth Fieser, and that will be held at the Windsor Community Center. And again, there's more information on that on our website. And also ongoing over at the First Church, they're having their Labyrinth Walk, and that continues on through the season. So if you want to look at the dates that's going to be available, again, look at our website. I wanted to show everybody the most recent addition to the Shad Derby houses. These are available here at the Chamber. This is Elm Grove Cemetery Chapel, and we have all the past houses available. And these proceeds go to the Shad Derby, which of course is one of our nonprofit organizations. You know, and speaking of Shad Derby, one of my favorite parts of the Shad Derby is the fried dough put on by the Windsor Kiwanis. And now we're going to sit down with Tom Pompa from the Windsor Kiwanis to hear about their organization and what they do.
Great.
I'm here with Tom Pompa from the Windsor Kiwanis Group. The one thing I know about this group is in years past I'd always run the Shad Derby Road Race. I haven't in a while, so I want to find out about that event and other events that the Kiwanis take care of. Tom, welcome.
Thank you for having me.
Tell us a little bit about the Kiwanis in general, about your organization.
Well, the Kiwanis is an international organization formed in 1915 in Detroit, Michigan. Okay. We have grown to present day where we have over 600,000 members in the Kiwanis community, which consists of Kiwanis clubs, Circle K clubs, K-Kids clubs, and Action clubs. There are about 8,400 clubs in 96 nations.
So you actually handle all age groups now? Yes,
exactly. From grammar school right up until there are actually some senior groups out there that still, I don't know what they call them, but they're out there, retired members of the community that meet for breakfast and lunch in different towns.
Now, how about the Windsor Club? Tell us a little bit about this.
Windsor Club was formed in 1966. We will be 41 years old this coming January 20th. We have 34 members. We meet weekly for dinner at the Skyline Restaurant in Windsor Locks.
Okay.
So we meet weekly, but attendance isn't mandatory, and neither is having dinner mandatory. So we don't want to discourage people that may be thinking of joining our club or another service club in town, thinking that that's a prerequisite.
Now, if someone's interested in your club, can they test drive you? Can they come to a meeting?
Absolutely. We have a website, and it would be nice if the Chamber's website can link to ours someday.
Oh, certainly. We can take care of that today.
Okay, good. It's kiwanis.org/club/Windsor CT. And there's people that you can contact. Also, there's the website has the activities that we are presently doing. And it also showcases our golf tournament that we had this past May, and the road race.
Great.
If you want to sign up for the road race, you can actually do that right now.
Right online.
Right online, yeah.
What other programs or events do you have during the year?
Well, the biggest thing we do in terms of dollars that are given away to the community are scholarships at the Windsor High School.
Okay.
Where this past year we gave $3,000 worth of scholarships to 3 Windsor High School students. We also have a student recognition program that we run at the middle school, and that showcases a student from each class. They're invited to a meeting. They're given a savings bond and a plaque to honor them.
And as I recall, you guys had a great showing actually at the Windsor Feud last year.
We did. We We had the best team there. We didn't win. Well, actually, I take that back. We did win trophy for having the best costume.
That's right.
So that was a good thing. We had a lot of fun. Hopefully, we will be signing up early enough to get involved with it again this year. It was also, it was a good fundraiser for the Chamber. We certainly participated in that. We were glad to do it because we know the Chamber does a lot of good things in town also.
Thank you. And I know one thing that a lot of residents in Windsor really look forward to is something you do on the Shadderby Green every year. Our
fried dough sales. We've been selling fried dough since 1978 on the Green. We've evolved we went through several iterations of how we do it, of the product. We feel that we have the best product for the least amount of money on the Green. As you well know, there's a lot of competition, but we're not afraid of it because we typically sell out.
So if a person was really thinking they would do the road race, then eat
Absolutely.
The fried dough.
Right, that's the way to do it. That's right. That's right.
Anything else you'd like to let us know about the club?
Well, other things that we have done. We participated in the Chili Fest this year, not as a Chili Fest or chili maker, but we did run the fried dough booth, and also the big thing, we raised over 3,500 pounds of food for the food bank and $900 for the fuel bank.
Now, how did you? Now, this is interesting. How did you do that on the Windsor Town Green?
Well, it evolved from one of our members graduated from Notre Dame, and they used to have a canoe race at the college. It was run a little bit differently. They used a beverage instead of instead of food, but we decided we could certainly fit the food into it. So it's a dry race, except for the year before this past one where it was really, you needed the canoes.
They almost floated.
They almost floated, exactly. But we had participation from the Rotary Club and also especially from the Town of Windsor employees. They did a great job with food and money and helped make it a great success.
Great. Well, we'd really like to thank Tom for coming out today. The Kiwanis Group is a great civic group in town. They do a lot, and I would encourage anybody who has any interest in their group to go to their website, which you'll soon be able to link through the Windsor Chamber website. Tom, thank you very much for coming today.
Thank you, Mark.
Thank you, Tom. Thank you for visiting with us today. That was really interesting, Marty.
Yeah, the Kiwanis are a great organization. They do a lot in town.
They do. Do you know they also do the Windsor Feud? They came for their first time last year. As you know, we try to keep it to 10, maybe possibly 12 teams, or else the evening goes too long. But it's teams of 4 people that get together, and it is the Windsor Feud.
And this past year, the Kiwanis won best dress or best costume, basically.
Yes, they did. And there are little golf costumes.
I was surprised. I was involved in the Windsor Feud this year, and the production studio they put together over at the Town Council Chamber is just amazing. The sound and lights, you really feel like you're going to see Richard Dawson walking through the door.
Yeah. Gary Dogowitz does a lot of that for us, and he just does an awesome job as a volunteer.
Yeah. And
it's just incredible, and we encourage any business that's listening to us right now to give the Chamber a call if they want to do a 4-person team, or go on our internet where, as always, a lot of good information. First come, first serve. It's a fun night. It raises money for our programs.
Now, Jerry Wistrom will be our MC again this year.
He's going to be our MC.
He's a riot.
Yeah, he is. He's better than Richard Dawson.
I think so.
He is.
What's the date for this year?
It is February 24th. It's going to be on a Saturday evening, which is different, beginning at 5 p.m. Right. It's a little different because of different circumstances that we have to hold it a little bit earlier. But as you were saying, the technical part of it, you wouldn't know the difference from the real thing, the way it is.
And speaking of technology, I think it's a good time for us to go over to our Tech Discovery with John Waveris. He's with Matt Berkey from Massive Productions.
Awesome.
Hi, this is Tech Discovery. I'm John Waveris. This week I want to talk to you about a big change that's happening on the internet. Basically, just a few years ago, CDs were the big deal. And now we've got the recording industry suing college kids because they're swapping MP3 files. Basically, they're putting music on the internet. This took over. Better way to buy music than trying to get a piece of plastic somewhere. And I know for myself, I bought the CD last week. I didn't bother to swap it in and out every time I want to listen to the music here. I personally put it onto my computer and I listen to it there. I still buy the music, you know, you still have to pay for it, but it's a big difference. Now, this year, this is 2007, we're going to see a major change when it comes to video. For example, this fall, a lot of companies like ABC, NBC, you know, the major network TV stations are showing the same shows on the internet as on television. Windsor Today is doing the same thing. Half of you, I probably assume here, are watching us on YouTube because we broadcast there, as well as in Windsor on local cable channel. Wired magazine, this is the December 2006 article, has a great article about YouTube and how Google bought YouTube, this is video sharing on the internet, for $1.7 million. Pretty interesting. And also coming up right now, this is 2007, Microsoft Vista is coming out. And this is the first Microsoft operating system really aimed at putting video, editing video, sharing video over the internet, where we now have enough power to do the same. This week I'm going to interview Matt Berkey from Massive Productions, and we'll see what he can tell us. He's got a recording studio here, he puts sound on video files, he's won some awards, and we'll see what he can tell us about video on the internet. So Matt, thank you for meeting with me.
No problem, John. Good to see you.
Yeah, it's been a while. So I actually am really curious about this article in YouTube about, in Wired magazine about YouTube and about video, about what you do here. You have a recording studio.
Right.
And what can you tell us about movies and all that in 2007?
Yeah, 2007 is going to be an exciting year. My industry, all I really do is audio for video.
Okay.
And that's called audio post-production. And that's also another reason why a lot of people in Windsor are going to say, there's a recording studio in Windsor?
Yeah.
You know, it's because, you know, audio post-production is kind of in the, you know, not in the spotlight. It's not the studio that you see, you know, on TV or in big magazines. It's the guys that work behind the scenes, you know, sweetening things, making things look better, sound better. You know, so that's really what my business is all about. And you know, with the expansion of YouTube, which is a genius idea, and a lot of the major primetime news companies, everything is going to start, you know, whether it's, you know, going digitally to your high definition television, or if it's going to go straight to your flat screen display on with the internet.
I saw that there's a few guitars in the other room. You have a few different rooms with foam on the walls here.
Sure.
Lots of microphones.
Yep. Here at Massive Productions, there's 3 separate rooms. This room that we're in now is the control room. It's where I do all my work and where clients will come and sit and listen. Then the second room is a room with a cathedral ceiling, which is more the music room, or we'll do a multi-person recording. And then there's a small room which is the voiceover room, which mainly is for voiceover recording, vocals, and also instruments, depending on what kind of instrument comes in. But yeah, and I use all 3 rooms all the time. You know, whether I'm here working with voiceover talents, or if I'm here writing music for TV commercials or for documentaries.
I understand you won an award this past year, right?
Yeah, I've been in business for almost 4 years, and out of the 4 years I've won 2 different awards, national awards. I'm not only recognized as an award-winning audio engineer, but also as a composer. A piece of music I wrote for Harvard Bioscience, and radio spots I produced for the Harvard Image Project.
Cool. And radio spots, people out in their cars and on their radios, they probably hear your work?
Yeah, if you're driving around in Connecticut, you've probably heard plenty of my work. Hartford Current, St. Francis Hospital, Ski Sundown, Bank of America.
I think you have a Hartford Rising Star commercial that I've enjoyed.
Yeah, that's actually an award-winning campaign, yeah.
Cool, and there's a lot of bands in Windsor. I know one of my neighbors has a garage band.
Yeah.
Do you still record them here, or is that...
I've tried in the last year or two to start to move away from music production, not only because my corporate clientele is getting so busy, also just because I mean, I'm a musician myself, and when it comes to recording other people's music, I'm really picky about who I work with. So yeah, I still do bands. I'm recording a friend's band right now, and I do a lot of acoustic projects where, you know, guitar players come in and record guitar tracks and then sing and things like that.
We have a lot of corporations up on Day Hill Road.
That's true.
What can you do for them?
Some of them I already work for. Travelers has a big office up on Day Hill, and I've written music, corporate. I would call it corporate music for Travelers for many different videos. They have, besides what you see on television, large corporations produce thousands of videos a year, internal videos that either go to marketing people or go to directly to the staff for more training, and they spend they spend millions of dollars a year, making those videos look great, sound great. So I've written lots of music for Travelers. ING is a big business coming into the Day Hill area. I think it's going to be the largest business in Windsor.
Wow. Okay.
I forget how many employees, but several thousand employees are bringing to Windsor once the building's built.
That should be very good for Windsor.
Yeah, do a wonderful job making, showing you how some of these new benefit, how you can control your benefits online. So it's, it's not the most exciting stuff, but it is somewhat rewarding.
Yeah, you probably have fun doing it.
Absolutely, yeah.
Hey, Matt, thank you for meeting with me.
Hey, no problem, John.
I'm sure a lot of people are surprised to know that there's such a high-quality recording studio right here in Windsor.
So am I.
Cool. I'll see you soon.
Thank you, John and Matt. That was great. That production facility that Matt's got there it's an award-winning facility, and he's met some very interesting people, and it was a great segment. We've had a great year here at the Chamber, and we finished the year off strong with the Red Rose Tea Weekend.
Yes.
Jane, tell our audience a little bit about what happened.
Well, it was exciting. It was through our tourism committee, which Paula Pierce chairs, and its volunteers. And Jim Burke, our economic development director, had a great idea which he put forth to the committee, and they ran with it. Mm-hmm. And it was the figurines. Here, I'll hold up one. This was the showpiece of this year's Wade Figurine Fair. It's the little gingerbread boy, but it was made special as a commemorative item, as an ornament for our fair. The hotel that it was held at, the Hilton Garden Inn, it booked double their normal rooms. Mm-hmm. People ate out. We had 9 shuttle stops at different businesses that people went to. I understand business was great. Probably about 400 people came, Marty, from all over, from as far as away. The farthest was England, Colorado, Canada. Yeah. New Jersey, Pennsylvania, Connecticut. It was just New York State. And it was people either interested in tea or in the little Wade figurines, but an incredible bunch, and we're looking forward to next year.
Yeah, it really hit 2 of our goals here at the Chamber. It brought in some tourism dollars into the town, and it showcased the town for outside businesses.
Well, because people didn't realize that these little figurines are from the Red Rose tea boxes, which is made by Redco, which home office is up on Day Hill Road.
Right.
And in the Day Hill area. And that's just really nice. We have some great businesses in town.
Well, speaking of great businesses, I'd like to head off now to grab a bite with Paula Pierce up at the Italian Corner in Pequannock. Paula.
Hi, this is Paula Pierce for Grab a Bite, and I'm here at the Italian Corner restaurant today, which is on Tunxus Street, right off of Pequannock Ave. If you go up Pequannock Ave, you can't miss it. It's a staple here in Windsor. The Italian Corner is a great place to get a slice of pizza at lunchtime or to have a full Italian meal with wine or beer in the evenings. So come on down. And now I'm sitting here with Francis and also Roberto. Roberto is the chef here, and they've owned the restaurant for, 26 years?
26 years and 3 months, yeah.
And 3 months, all right. Well, it's a staple here in Windsor. We all know Italian Corner. Can you tell us a little bit about its history?
Italian Corner, it's a family little place. It was 26 years ago, and it's still a family place up, these days. So, the food is still the same. We haven't changed that much. The pricing, we try to keep as low as possible because, even though a lot of inflation, over the years, but we're still on a low key, compared to other major, thing. And the food is great.
And can you tell me a little bit, Francis, about your specials? You have specials each, is it every day or every week?
We do. What we do is during the day, we have a cafeteria style lunch in which the food is prepared fresh and we make it right in front of everybody. It's ready to go so that within 5 minutes someone can come in, get their dinner, sit down, and have a nice little lunch and then go back to work. So if someone has a very short lunch hour, it's ready to go, or if someone doesn't want to cook dinner that evening. In fact, I do have quite a few customers that do that. They'll bring their own cooking dish in and just say, just layer the food in there. We won't tell them who made it.
All right, I'm going to try that next time I need to cook.
There's quite a few, yeah. And I won't mention no names.
We have veal francais, veal marsan. It just depends what you like. And if you want a special order, you call me ahead of time. I'll be glad to get you something that isn't even included on our menu, but that you would like to do, especially if you're having a family get together.
And tell me a little bit. I have to ask about desserts.
We have
near and dear to my heart.
Well, we make. I think the most wonderful cannolis in the world. First of all, we make them ourselves. They're real ricotta. They're just fabulous, and I swear that if you have them here, you'll never have them anywhere else. We have tiramisu, we have cheesecake.
I'll take a dozen.
I will.
No, maybe after filming's over, but no, that's fine. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
But
dessert is always key. Just a little cappuccino and a little cannoli makes the meal.
That's perfect. Perfect. Any final words for our residents in Windsor watching this tonight?
Just want to say that, I'm a guy that I moved all the way from New York, 27 years ago, and I think Windsor, for whatever reason, I don't remember, but I love it here. Hope people like us, they keep supporting us for another 25 years or so, and by that time I'll be retired.
Well, I feel right at home here myself. Thank you for joining us today on Grab a Bite.
Thank you, Paula. I've actually eaten too much pizza up at Italian Corner. It's a great restaurant. One of the other things that we had happen in the last month is we had our Chamber Holiday Breakfast, and it was up at Alstom, and they sponsor us every year, and it's been a great partnership. And this year, as many years, we supported the Windsor Food Bank. We raised $800 for the food bank, along with 10 bags of food that we were able to provide for them. And also, we collected toys for the Windsor Police Toy Collection Program. So we'd like to thank Alstom.
It was very generous of them, and the businesses that donated raffle prizes, which helped raise some of that money. As people know, our businesses get hit with a lot of requests, and they're very supportive of the Windsor community.
Yeah, I think there was about 50 business members at the function.
Yeah, it was great. It was a good time.
So.
Talking about the holiday breakfast, let's go over to one of our other great businesses with the Business Beat with Gloria McMahon over at Tidemark Press, which is located above Webster Bank. Gloria.
Hello, my name is Gloria McMahon, and I'm here today with Scott Kaiser from Tidemark Press. And we're here in Windsor on Broad Street. And welcome, Scott.
Welcome.
I am happy to be here today, and I would like you to talk to us a little bit about your company and how you came to Windsor.
Sure. We came to Windsor about 4 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
We had been in another town, easterly, for a long time. And we came looking for a wonderful office space, which we found above the bank in Windsor Center.
Great.
Webster Bank.
Mm-hmm.
They've been terrific landlords for us, and it's been a wonderful space for us. So we've pursued our sort of publishing adventure here,
Mm-hmm.
which we've been doing for about 27 years. We make calendars, we make books, we make cards, and we distribute puzzles. So we do a lot of kind of interesting paper product.
Diversified, really.
Diversified, right.
Yep.
And we sell primarily to gift stores and to bookstores. We sell in the United States, in Canada, and a number of other countries around the world.
Can you go on your website and
You can look on the website.
purchase things
And go
directly?
to tidemarkpress.com, all one word.
Okay.
And you'll find us there. Lots of interesting things. And we have a lot of regional connections and a lot of connections really with Windsor. For example, this is a wonderful book about Theodate Pope Riddle. And a lot of people know her as the person who designed Hillstead. It's a wonderful museum in Farmington. She actually went to Miss Porter's school. And Sandra Katz wrote the book, and she's a Windsor resident. So we're very proud to have produced this book. And we do a lot of calendars. Many of them have regional connections. This is an angel calendar done by Karen Rossi, and we've done a number of calendars with Karen.
Beautiful illustrations,
She's a
too.
terrific artist and a wonderful supporter of a lot of good organizations in Connecticut.
Great. You do the puzzles
We do
also?
puzzles, and we have a wonderful line. These are puzzles by Ricordi, and Ricordi is one of the oldest publishers of puzzles in the world. They're made in Italy. We have a huge line. There are about 150 designs of puzzles. They're all fine art puzzles, and they come in a couple of varieties. So there are a lot of choices for people who are puzzlers, and it's very kind of exciting.
And I know you do note cards and box cards. So
That's right.
Anytime you want to go on the website for gifts,
it's a good choice.
it's a good choice to go and help support your company and Windsor.
Well, that's right. If you're in the lobby downstairs, you'll see our winter gift catalog.
Oh, great.
And people are welcome to pick one up and take it with them, and if they find something they like, it's a good choice.
That's right.
Thank you, Gloria. That was a very interesting piece on Tidemark Press. That was a neat business. It's time for our trivia contest answer. Last episode, our question was, what type of bird was on the statue in front of the Town Hall Library? And our winner is actually Margie DeGata from DeGata Granite and Bronze. And she sent us an email that says, when I was a little girl, I used to take a walk there and climb up on the eagle and eat my snack of pretzel sticks. So I think that's a fond memory for Margie, though I don't think they let people climb on it anymore.
Right.
So,
And if you're watching this, let Margie know that she's won. Hopefully she's watching.
that's right. And Margie, we need you to come down to the chamber to pick up your chamber gift certificate. The chamber gift certificate is good for over 40 businesses in town, and it's a great prize.
Right.
So, and we have our new contest question for next episode. Who was the best chili award at this year's chili contest? Who won the award for the best chili
You can go to the
at this chest? No, don't tell them the website. That would be cheating.
Oh, well, okay.
So don't go on the website. Just
Don't go on the website.
figure out some other way.
Ask around. Call Anita Jubry.
That's right.
And talking about all these great things, let's head over to Christine Ermans with the historical moment.
Hi there, I'm Christine Ermans. I'm the director of the Windsor Historical Society, and it's my pleasure to welcome you to this moment in history. We're standing here in the Windsor Artist Then and Now Gallery, and it's one of the things that I hope you'll be putting on your agenda to do between now and March 31st when the exhibition comes down. This is an exhibition that I really think every Windsor resident should see because it'll show you two things. It will show you that Windsor's had a very long tradition of artistic excellence from the 17th century when furniture makers just produced incredible work, and you can see some of that in the exhibition. But the other thing it will convince you of is that Windsor has a huge amount of talent and artistic creativity, and all of us should really be very proud we're Windsor residents and stand up and support our Windsor artists. So that said, I want to talk about printmaking today because on Saturday, January 13th, we're going to be offering a very rare opportunity for 12 lucky people to work with Windsor artist Linda Fellows, who's a printmaker that many of you probably already know because she taught printmaking and art history at Loomis Chaffee for years. And at this point, we're going to take a little bit of a look at some of Linda's work. If we could zoom over here, this is one of Linda's prints called Sunrise, and it's beautiful. The workshop actually, it's limited to 12 people because it's a pretty involved process. You don't have to have had prior experience to take the workshop, but we're limiting it to ages 10 and up because part of the process involves using a fairly sharp gouge to cut images out of blocks, and we're going to be using linoleum. The traditional technique was wood printing, but linoleum is obviously a lot easier to carve out than wood is. If you look in this case right here, you can see the gouges that are used to carve out the wood blocks. This is a or linoleum block. This is a linoleum block here, and what you do, the first step is really to come up with the image that you want, draw it on the linoleum block, and then what you're going to do is take the gouge and carve everything out that you want to be white space so that the image is the thing that's sticking up from the linoleum block. Then what you're going to do is take a roller and ink it, and then the next step is really to print it on a piece of mulberry paper. So you can see it's a little involved, but the wonderful thing about this process is that if you get a great image, you can print it again and again and again. And the cost for this workshop is $10 for Windsor Historical Society members and $15 for non-members. And that's actually a steal. I didn't know anything when I priced the workshop because the cost of the materials is far more than that. The other thing is having the chance to work with Linda, who is a born teacher. She's just loads of fun. So what you have to do to reserve your spot is call in at 688-3813, reserve the spot, and come on January 13th. Now, I want to just spend a little bit of time, since this is a history program, telling you about the impact of printmaking on the world. Around 1400, they discovered, first of all, there was a discovery of how to make paper out of rags. You no longer had to scrape animal skins to make the vellum that was used. The manuscripts that the monks used were all printed on vellum. So around the 1400, the development of paper. And then they figured out that this technique of relief printing could be used to make multiple images. And if you think about it, it had just a revolutionary impact on the spread of knowledge. Imagine if you were, say, an inventor and you had an idea. You could describe the idea, but now you could put a drawing of it on paper, get it made into a print, and you could circulate that to colleagues at distant universities. Imagine if you were a physician and you wanted to know and pass knowledge on about plants that had medicinal value. You could talk about them, but it would also be very important to show these plants. Now you could make an image of these plants and you could combine it with typeface and produce a little booklet, and then you'd have a medical journal that could be passed around from place to place. Imagine too that if you were an explorer or a geographer, exploring new territory, you could put it into a map, you could draw it, and then it could be printed and multiple copies could be made of all of this. So you can get a sense of just how revolutionary this printmaking technique, combined with the movable type and the printing press, you can see just what an impact this had on the dissemination of knowledge throughout the world. Now, one thing, we've been talking about printmaking as, immensely valuable in the transmission of knowledge and art. The other thing that you can think about printmaking, it is a repetitive process. And so printmakers will, at the corner of each print, they'll have a series of numbers. The first number will be followed by a slash, and then a second series of numbers. And what this means, the first number is the number of the print that was made. The second number that follows the slash is the print run. If you have a print run of 500, that means there are 500 prints that are circulating out there in the world. And if the number series goes 3/500, that is the third print that was made out of the run of 500. The earlier prints are a little bit cleaner and a little more valuable. And obviously, if the print run is somewhat limited, say if it's a print run of 50, there are only 50 prints out there circulating in the world. So those prints might have a little more value. So there are a lot of different ways to look at prints. Linda says that she loves printmaking because there's always an element of surprise. You can't quite tell what the print is going to look like until you actually get it printed on paper. So we're asking people with a sense of adventure, no prior experience necessary, sign up. It's Saturday, January 13th, 2 to 4. And call Windsor Historical Society, 688-3813, or look for a little more information on our website, which is www.windsorhistoricalsociety.org. We hope to see you at the workshop and at the exhibition.